Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talking About Football. I'm your host Mario, here to give you your summary on match day 6 of the Champions League. I'd like to start off today by saying sorry for missing out on match day 5 summary. It was due to holiday and technical reasons that I wasn't able to record. As always, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Starting off with Dynamo Zagreb up against Celtic. It was quite an interesting game between two teams battling to pass towards the playoff stage of the tournament. It was a game where Celtic held the ball well, but Zagreb were creating a lot of shooting opportunities. The match ended in a 0-0 draw. Following that was a surprising game between Girona and Liverpool. On one hand, we have Girona, who have been struggling all season in all competitions with a lot of losses, facing off against the Premier League leader and undefeated leader of this season's Champions League. The match was quite an even one, with Girona creating more shooting opportunities, but in the end, it finished 1-0 in favor of Liverpool after a penalty, marking their 6th victory in a row in what comes of the Champions League. Following that was Brest versus PSV, and this match was another display of Brest's good performance throughout the Champions League, marking their 4th victory. After a hard match where they struggled to maintain the ball, the game ended in a 1-0 victory for Brest. Next up was Shakhtar versus Bayern Munich, and it started off with an early 5th-minute goal from Shakhtar, showing that they were locked in and ready to play. As the match progressed, that couldn't be further from the truth. Bayern were able to dominate the game and end the match with a victory of 5-1. Continuing, we have Club Brugge versus Sporting Club. Overall, it was quite an even game, but once again, we are made aware of the fact that Sporting is struggling without Amorim, having lost their last 4 games including this one, with a 2-1 victory for the French side. Following that match was Salzburg versus PSG, and this was complete domination for PSG. Finally, coming back from a few bad matches in past match days, PSG held a 70% possession and 15 shots, and were able to win 3-0 and getting closer towards advancing to the playoffs. Next up, we have the intense match between RB Leipzig and Aston Villa, and wow, what a match filled with scoring opportunities. 19 shots for Villa and 17 for Leipzig. The match started off with an early goal from John McGinn in the 3rd minute. Openda was able to respond in the 27th minute. In the second half came Duran's goal, marking the 2-1. And just 10 minutes later came the goal to tie the match for Leipzig. The match seemed like it was going to end in a draw, but in the 85th minute came a late goal for Villa, marking a 3-2 victory. Following that match was Leverkusen versus Inter Milan. It was a dominant match for the German side, and Milan seemed to be lost and not being able to hold the ball or generate opportunities. The match ended with a late 90th minute goal and a victory for Bayern Leverkusen, 1-0. After that, we have Atalanta at home up against Real Madrid. And once again, what a match. It was an even match possession-wise, but Atalanta were the team attacking more, usually being at a deficit looking for a tie. Real Madrid shined and were able to maintain the lead most of the match and win 3-2. After that came Atletico Madrid versus Slovan Bratislava. And there isn't much to say other than how well Atletico played, have been playing, and the future of the club for this season. Atletico held the match to their liking with 19 shots generated. The match ended in a 3-1 victory for Atletico. Following that was Lille versus Sturm Graz. An even match score-wise, but Lille worked hard and played their heart out, holding more possession and shots created. The match, although one-sided, ended in a close 3-2 victory for Lille. Next up was Benfica versus Bologna, another even match possession-wise, but Bologna struggled to generate play. On the other hand, we had Benfica, who were able to have 15 shots. But even with that, the match ended in a 0-0 draw. Keeping it going, we had AC Milan up against Zvezda, and once again, a one-sided dominant match for Milan. With the 2-1 victory against Zvezda, Milan were able to get their 4th victory in the tournament, leaving them in a good position to get to the next stage. Following that was the game of the match day, Borussia Dortmund at home facing off against Barcelona. It was a match filled with mixed emotions going both ways, filled with entertaining moments. The match ended in a 3-2 victory for Barcelona with a late 85th minute goal, and this leaves them in a good second place spot, being comfortable. Next up was Feyenoord versus Sparta Prague, and it was a surprising match, proving to be more even than I believed it would be. Both teams played a good match, trying to get some points on the board, but in the end, Feyenoord was the better team, being able to win 4-2. Following that was Juventus versus Manchester City, and once again, it was another devastating loss for City. They played comfortably, attacking a lot and generating play, but when it came to defending, they were lost and unconcentrated. In the end, the match ended in a 2-0 victory for Juve. For the last two games of the matchday, we can start off with Stuttgart versus Young Boys. And the Swiss team started off right, scoring in the 6th minute of the match. But Stuttgart came to play and dominated the match, bagging 5 goals against them. The match ended in a 5-1 victory for Stuttgart, similar to the Bayern Munich match. The final game of the matchday was Arsenal versus Monaco. And once again, Arsenal show how great they are, holding the match to their liking at home and not letting the French side generate play. The match ended in another victory for the English side, 3-0. This is how the table currently stands, with Liverpool first place with 18 points after 6 matches, meaning 6 consecutive victories for the club. This is great promise for the future of the club and how great of the season they're currently having. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to comment which was your favorite game of the match day. And as always, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Thank you.